What's up, gamers? My name's Scyushi and we're back again some more Trove, and today we're finally talking about that Turkeytopia 2019 event. Do they even call it Turkeytopia? Yes, they do. Only here on this sub menu, because everywhere in the quest it's super duper confusing. So this event, I mean, honestly speaking, I'm expecting a lot of you guys to check out this video because the event itself does a terrible job explaining things. And if you haven't played any of the previous Turkeytopia events, you're going to be absolutely lost. Thankfully, it's pretty much the exact same as any other event. So we've been able to take our knowledge of those previous events into this one going into the future. Also, just as a side note, guys, I'm going to have a video that's going to be talking about the new rules and the new changes coming to not only the channel but the community and stuff, but in short, whenever I'm doing tutorials like this, I'm not going to end up swearing, but when I'm doing like maybe more let's play stuff or streaming and stuff like that, then I'm going to be more open to it, and we'll talk about that in another video. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for the positivity and support that you've shown me over these past couple days, because it's insane. I've been taking a little bit of a break from doing all the YouTube stuff. That's why you haven't seen as many videos coming out, but anyways, let's get right into it. Smash like. First and foremost, collect Turcofoo, which is extremely confusing because the event itself is just some weird lore. Take the dream gobblers down to gather Turcofoo up, and I'll give you the secrets to learn my family recipe. Now, here's the thing: is normally what the Trove events do is they have this big paragraph of lore that nobody cares about, and then they'll end up having a line at the end that literally explains what you're supposed to do. For some reason, this event just doesn't do that. I don't know why. So there's these turkey enemies that you'll end up finding in the Dragonfire Peaks more specifically, and they will actually end up dropping the Turcofoo. It's important to know that the way that Trove generates enemies is kind of based on chunks. So I'm assuming you guys know Minecraft, so you should know how chunks end up generating. But basically, Trove is going to end up being the same thing, where each of these areas, even though it's just one consistent biome, there's multiple chunks combined that end up making this full lava biome. So the point that I'm trying to get at, and I'll just kind of skip in the video when we're trying to find one of these stupid enemies, but the biomes themselves will actually generate the enemies based on the chunk. So while you might be going through Dragonfire and you're like, what is this? Like, these are just normal enemies. And here we actually load into another chunk, and this is going to end up generating these turkey enemies. So this is what this guy's gonna look like. Oh my God, it's laggy. These guys are scary. Seriously, they're dark gobblers, they're giant, they're evil, they're monsters. I remember, you guys remember back when the Turkeytopia event came out and these guys had knockback that would just throw you across the map? Oh God, that was so funny. So anyways, kill these guys, you end up getting Turcofoo as a drop, and you basically have to farm 15 of these guys so that you can end up getting your hands on 15 dragon coins. We actually got really lucky to find one of those guys so quickly. Now comes the most difficult part of the event, which is what yesterday's video was talking about. I actually have to hop into our club world, sorry about that. But the second part of the event sucks, because if you don't touch any of the gardening, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be able to do it unless you have a friend that has the gardening. So basically, you're gonna have to get the gardening bench and start working on your gardening skill until you're at gardener, because this is where the gardening 2.0 comes in. So basically, for you guys that don't know, these plants right here operate on the gardening 1.0 system, which is literally from like the beta days. And then gardening 2.0 is actually more recent, and these plants operate completely differently than any of the other ones. I have tutorials talking about that, so you can check those out with the card in the top right of the corner if you're curious. It's confusing though, it really is. I tried my best to break it down and get a good video for you guys, but basically you're gonna have to craft any of these vegetable plants, and then you gotta throw them down in your club world. And if you plant like a ton of them, you could just give permissions to some of your friends that are in the club to harvest plants. So if we actually go to the where's our permissions here? There it is. You can see there's this gardening right here, and based on the check marks, those are the people that are going to be able to interact with the plants. The reason you have to be careful with this command is because if you just give the command to everybody, it means that everybody can just go crazy and start stealing all of the plants and stuff like that. And unfortunately, you'll probably deal with trolling and junk. But when you end up planting them down, they're going to be thrown on the ground, and they're going to have to wait for the plant to mature. You can use an Instagrower, which you can actually buy on the player market. They're going up in price like crazy just because of this event. And you can use the Instagrower to have the plant mature. But then you're going to have to water the plant. And you can see this one is 0 out of 1 water. Certain ones 0 out of 2 water. So you're going to end up using watering cans for this, or gold watering cans, which is another thing that you can end up buying from the player market. And the gold watering can is basically going to give it all the water that it needs, rather than a normal watering can would only give a +1 value to the water. And I'm not trying to make this into a gardening tutorial, guys. I'm sorry, I just have to explain this because we got a lot of new people coming in. In short, though, this plant right here, you can water it once a day, and that's once every Trove daily reset. So if you end up watering a cubage plant, you don't need a gold watering can. You can just use a normal one because you have only 1 value of water to end up giving to it. And then you literally are going to have to wait until the daily reset hits before you can end up harvesting the plant. I've got this one sitting right here for Merc, for example, because I accidentally harvested all of the other ones. But anyways, then you harvest it. And sometimes you'll end up having the items just stay on the ground. It's a little bit glitchy. So just hit the pickup button and hold the pickup button, depending on the version of Trove that you're playing, and you'll pick up all the items in your vicinity. And that's how you can end up picking up the plants. Just because sometimes it's a little bit glitchy. That'll end up completing the next part of the event, which is going to give you 3 empowered gem boxes. And then you have to defeat recipe dungeons. So that is very simple, very to the point. You have to complete 15 of them. Just a heads up, what the event itself is going to ask of you is to have multiple different recipes. So you might not want to just go to one specific biome for all of these 15 recipes. And for those of you that don't know, recipes are literally just going to end up being these on the map. You'll see this little recipe icon, and then you complete that dungeon, you'll end up getting a recipe. And what they normally do is just give you a bunch of block types that you can end up using to build in your clubs and junk like that. There is a limited amount, and they're always going to unlock something unique. But anyways, that's the next part of the quest, and you're going to end up getting Cubesley's Family's Secret. So it's going to be another blueprint type of item, right? So then you have to learn his family secret, and the way that we end up doing that is just by going into the hub world right here. Again, the quest itself doesn't explain this, which is absolutely stupid, but right over here there's actually a Turkeytopia dude just chilling here, and I'll put another card in the top right hand corner of the screen that's going to link to an older video that shows you all the items you can get out of this crafting table in the Turkeytopia event. I think I made that video last year, but I don't really feel the need to end up making an updated video because there's literally nothing new added to the Turkeytopia event outside of the ally that you end up getting from the event itself. But anyways, in the Turkeytopia recipes, this is where you end up learning the recipe. So this is the next part of the quest, and as you can see, you need 2 recipes from Highlands, 3 from Candoria, and then 1 from Forbidden Spires, Permafrost, Jurassic, and then the event item itself. So you can end up farming for these ones specifically, and if you don't have them, you can always just buy them or just go farm them yourself. It just takes time. It's not inherently difficult. And then you'll end up getting the Cranberry this guy right here, which is absolutely adorable. I love this ally. He's so cute. It's one of the companions that you end up getting from the Geode caves, but he's like cranked down in size, and he's like really tiny and cute, and he's got these little socks and an Amish hat. Like, I love him, dude. That's such a good ally to get from this, even though he only gives 10 mastery and he sucks. But anyways, his stats aren't going to end up being anything special. 10% to your crit damage, 2 extra jump. Why is the pilgrim wet? It should say, why do I exist? But anyways, up next you have to cook the Turcofoo cornucopia thing. So that's this recipe that you ended up learning is now in the food category right here. So it's going to cost 15 of the Turcofoo and a bunch of stuff from the gardening. Oh, once again, you're going to have to go to the gardening. I forget whether or not you can you just buy these plants? Are they tradable? Bun feed? Yeah, okay, they're tradable. Cool. So at least that should be a pretty easy way of getting this done. But either way, you have to have all these resources, and then you craft this food item. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to be careful, because if you craft this and then put the food item on your character, you're going to kind of screw yourself over, and you'll have to craft another one of these, because you have to wait for the event details to update first. Just giving you a heads up, because then basically after you craft this and cook it, you'll end up getting 3 illustrious gem boxes. And then finally, the last part of the quest line is to eat the cornucopia, which literally is just the item will be in your inventory. You just equip it, and then it'll end up showing up on your food bar right here, which actually, let me uncensor my Uggles chat, because now I don't need to have it blurred in my videos anymore because of... Again, we'll talk about that in our video, but now you guys can actually see this stuff a little bit better. Let me get out of your way here. So the turkey food is going to end up lasting for like an hour or something. I only have 9 minutes left, just because that's how the food items work. I have another video explaining that. Refer to the card in the top right. And it's going to end up giving you 0.5 crit hit, 10 superstition, which is a joke stat. It doesn't do anything. And then 10% to your attack speed, which I guess cool. I don't know. The funny thing is my attack speed hasn't actually gone up, but that's just because I'm on Draco right now. Anyways, from eating the Turkeytopia food, you'll end up getting 3 empowered gem boxes. There you go. Simple enough, easy, and to the point. There's a lot of items you can end up getting out of the Turkeytopia event. You know, there's all these mounts that you can end up getting. Tons and tons of stuff for mastery. If you guys haven't already done any of it, guys, like seriously, it's a sight to behold. Some of these kind of suck, honestly. But if I hop into my personal chest here, let me show you guys that there is going to end up being these turkey stuffing boxes. And these are pretty much where you're going to end up getting a lot of the items required in order to craft some of these mounts, because there's going to be the Appeased Dream Gobbler right here. You get from crafting 2 of the trotting turkeys, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, these will drop the trotting turkey mounts, so you'll have to get them from this. They are tradable as far as I know, but all of these items are going to cost, well, I guess not all of them. Most of them are going to cost the trotting turkey, so you'll have to get those very rarely out of these boxes. You can also very rarely get the Wings of Unexpected Ascension. And the thing that's kind of cool, kind of weird about it is that the Wings of Unexpected Ascension should actually show up in your store. I don't have them show up because I already have them, but so long as you've spent money in the Trove store, you can end up getting those wings for absolutely free, which, perfect time for me to plug. If you use that sign up link in the description, then end up buying anything out of the store, you'll end up sending a percentage of those monies to myself, which it doesn't increase the value of anything in the store. It's just an awesome thing that Game Ago did. On top of that, the Wings of Unexpected Ascension, I don't think that they were a part of these chests until Game Ago took charge. Maybe. I could be wrong about that, honestly. But the fact is that you could either pay to win those wings very easily, and they'll give you like 100 mastery and everything like that, or you can just end up very rarely unboxing them as a free-to-play player right here, which I think unexpected. Yeah, these are actually tradable as well. So if you can, these are definitely worth picking up because they'll end up being a little bit more valuable later on. Let's see if we can end up getting anything good out of these boxes. There's also going to be the Turkeytopia recipes. There's a couple hat styles and stuff like that. Nothing really super duper special though, honestly. It's just all the turkey stuff that we've seen in previous years. Thanks for watching though, gamers. Really appreciate it. Smash like, sub for more. Have yourselves a great day. Sign on and stay epic, gamers.